All right, just a quick one for you here today. We've got some free agent signings, potential free agents that are re-signing with their own teams the day before the open market is available to them. And so we'll cover those, and some of the names that are not re-signed are just as interesting, really. In Boston, we had a nice quartet of signings as they signed Hannah Brandt for 2 years, Emily Brown 2 years, Sophie Shirley 2, and Sydney Morin for 1 year. So that's a really nice quartet for them to have back. And no real surprises there. Maybe Hannah Brandt for the 2 years, slightly a surprise, but she's a key member of their team for sure, so they wanted her back. Now, if you look at their list, you notice that Kaylee Fratkin was not re-signed. This one makes me wonder, as they did sign Emily Brown, maybe Fratkin is somebody they're willing to let her, hit the free market, or maybe she wants to look for another opportunity. And on some of these lists, you wonder, is this the player looking for something else, maybe a different, bigger role with another team? Or is this the team's choice in waiting to see what else is on the open market? It could be a combination of both. It could just be they haven't yet met in the middle. That was about the biggest group signing. And then Toronto re-signed their defender, Allie Munroe. That's a nice signing. She was an important part of their back end, playing with Callie Flanagan. She signed for 2 years, and I think her role might get pushed to the third pair this year, with Toronto drafting both Megan Carter and Lauren Bernard. So she did have nice chemistry with Callie, so remains to be seen what they want to do there. And of course, the name still outstanding for them is Hannah Miller, someone that would be highly coveted if she went to the open market. So we'll see what happens there. And looking at their list, those are really the only ones that I recommended that they sign before, this period opens. Another thing to remember from the players' standpoint is if they re-sign with their current team, the money that they are signing to is guaranteed. Whether they somehow get cut or released, that money will be theirs guaranteed. And for the better, bigger players, that's probably not too much of a consideration, but for someone at the lower end of the roster, it definitely is. And so it makes sense for anybody that's, got a little uncertainty around how they might make out next year when a lot of players hit the draft. It's probably a good idea for them to sign. So, like I said, some of the, concepts behind why players might not yet be signed is really interesting to think about. There's security in re-signing, there's familiarity. So if they're not, it's either a team option right now of waiting, or from the player point of view, are they thinking about their role on the team, thinking about somewhere they might get a better opportunity, or want to play with certain players or play in a certain market. As we look at names, of course, the biggest two who are unsigned are Ottawa's Katarina Mrazova and Daryl Watts. Daryl Watts, not as much of a surprise. We thought she was going to talk to other teams at least, so waiting till tomorrow before making that decision. But for Mrazova, could this be a money issue? There aren't really that many dollars available for free agents with the guaranteed money for draft picks and already committed to the 3-year deals on all these teams. So the dollars aren't a huge consideration. And, it looked like Mrazova was happy in Ottawa with Coach McLeod and the others that are obviously her friends. So I'm not too concerned about that. It's just a little bit of an eyebrow raiser, that she hasn't been signed, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her back. And then another big name that I think has a little bit of intrigue around it is Michaela Cava, who was such a great playoff performer for Minnesota. It's notable to me that she might not be too thrilled with the signing of someone like Britta Curl, being a member of the LGBTQ community. And her current partner, Emma Greco, is also unsigned with Minnesota, and you wonder if there's any consideration there, getting them both signed or to stay on the same team, or if simply they're not feeling the culture in Minnesota any longer, or, the team maybe not feeling that they fit in. That one has a lot of question marks, a lot more question marks around it for me. I'll update you. Follow me on Twitter. And by the way, if you're enjoying these, it makes a big difference if you do hit that thumbs up. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.